Okay, merino wool. So it's not just for, like, hikers and adventurers anymore, is it? I'll be honest, I used to think it was all, itchy sweaters and long underwear.
Mm.
But lately, I don't know, I keep hearing about how amazing it is. Almost magical properties, they say.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible stuff. And you know what's so cool? It really all comes down to the science of the fibers themselves. They're just incredibly fine.
So we're talking a different level of softness here.
Oh, yeah. Like, you won't find this kind of softness and breathability in your average wool. It's just different.
Okay, so let's back up a bit for people who might not be familiar. Where does merino wool even come from? And what makes it stand out from, regular wool? Like, what did my grandma use to knit with?
Uh-huh, right. Well, merino wool comes from merino sheep. Pretty straightforward. But what makes them special is they produce this wool with these super fine fibers, way finer than traditional wool.
Okay, so how does that make it so different?
Think of it this way. Those tiny, tiny fibers create all these little air pockets within the wool, thousands of them. And those air pockets, they can actually expand and contract.
Wait, so it's like breathing.
Exactly. It's like having built-in climate control in your clothes. Seriously, when it's cold, those pockets trap heat, keeps you warm. But when it's hot, all that breathability, it lets air circulate, you cool down.
Wow, so it's not just warm or are cool, it adapts.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
all that breathability, that plays into how well merino wool handles moisture too. It wicks it away like crazy.
Oh, that's a good point. I've actually noticed that myself. I thought merino was just for, hardcore hikers and stuff. But I wore a merino shirt on a long flight once, and I gotta say, I felt so much fresher than I would have in, like, synthetic fabric.
Oh, for sure. Synthetics, they tend to trap moisture. You get that clammy feeling.
Yeah.
But merino, it pulls sweat away from your skin way more effectively.
That's huge for travelers
Yeah.
or anyone who wants to pack light. Speaking of which, doesn't merino wool, like, resist odors?
Yeah, that's the other great thing about it. The fibers themselves, they have these antimicrobial properties. Basically, they help prevent the growth of bacteria, the stuff that causes odor.
So you're saying you could wear a merino wool shirt multiple times and it wouldn't?
Exactly. Stays fresh way longer. Huge plus for travelers or anyone who's, on the go.
Okay, I have to ask this because I think a lot of people are wondering. Is merino wool itchy?
That's the biggest misconception. Because the fibers are so fine, they actually bend when they touch your skin. They don't poke and scratch like traditional wool can.
So all those years of avoiding wool sweaters.
Yeah, you might want to reconsider.
It's soft, breathable, regulates temperature, wicks away moisture, resists odors.
Is there anything it can't do?
Uh-huh. Well, it probably can't do your taxes.
Yeah.
But it is incredibly versatile. I mean, you can find merino wool clothing for anything, hiking, running, yoga, even just going out to dinner.
It's like the Swiss Army knife of fabrics.
Totally. And because it's so durable, it lasts longer, so it's a good investment. And we can't forget about the sustainability angle, right? It's all natural.
Absolutely. Merino wool is biodegradable, and a lot of brands, they're really committed to ethical sourcing too. Plus, since it lasts longer, you're not buying new clothes as often, which is good for the environment.
Okay, but be honest. Isn't it kind of a pain to take care of? I always get nervous washing anything wool.
I swear, it's way easier than you think. Usually, a gentle wash and air drying are all you need. No harsh detergents, no special treatments.
So it's basically the superhero of fabrics. That's pretty amazing.
Right. It makes you wonder, if it's this great for clothing, what else could we be using it for? What does the future hold for merino wool? It's exciting to think about.
That's something to ponder for sure. Well, I think we've definitely uncovered the magic of merino wool today. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. It's been enlightening.
My pleasure. Always happy to talk about merino wool.